My name is Casey from the YouTube channel Casey250, and beside me is my 2020 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon Eco Diesel, and today I'm going to walk you through all of the mods that I've done to this to turn it into an extremely capable off-road and overland rig. So we'll talk about the suspension on here, we'll talk about the interior mods, the lighting, some of the armor and protection that we've added to the Jeep to let it survive some of the crazy adventures we've had, and some of the overland and camping mods that I've done to make this comfortable and usable when I'm out on my adventures. All right, let's start with the suspension. So this is an Eco Diesel, and we've had to play around with it a little bit as far as springs go. We have Clayton's 3.5-inch overland suspension springs on here, and then we have a full TerraFlex Alpine AR arm control arm kit on here as well, with their speed bumps on the front bump stops. And then for steering, we have a Steer Smarts Yeti XD tie rod and drag link. As well, we have a sector shaft brace because we have these large tires and we don't want to risk breaking our steering. And then what you can't see here today is we have a Adventure Rack Systems roof rack that's normally on here, but right now we have their catwalk system that we've left on, and the rack comes off and on really easy, but I pulled it off to do some driving around and we don't need our rooftop tent on here. But we've also got our Baja Designs S1 lights on the front pillars to give us some great ditch and long distance coverage. And then on the front, well, we've got the Baja Designs LP6 combo lights that give me really good lighting when I'm on the sand dunes or in the desert or some long straight forest roads that we have here in British Columbia. And we can't build an off-road Jeep without some essential recovery gear, and we've got a Warn Xeon 12S winch that gets put to use a lot on the adventures that I go out on. And then we have their Epic Fairlead and Factor 55 Ultra Hook that this is a really cool piece to your recovery gear. And then down here, hiding in our factory steel bumper, we have a pair of Baja Designs fog lights. And we've swapped out the factory fog lights to this real yellow amber color, and it's great in the snow and dust. And then underneath, protecting our front and rear differentials, we have Rancho's glide plate system that allows us to glide over obstacles without damaging our differentials. And we've replaced the differential covers with a set made from Dana. And now that we've lifted the Jeep up 3.5 inch, we've got tons of room for these huge Nitto trail grapplers. These are 37 by 12.5 inch, and they are on 17-inch TerraFlex Nomad wheels, which have these really cool quick air down tire deflation systems on them. And the shocks that we've paired with our suspension are the Falcon 3.3 adjustable shocks with the external reservoir on them. Now, what have we done to protect the Jeep? Well, we have added Metal Cloak's overland side steps, which give us great rocker protection along the side of the Jeep. And then underneath, we have an entire Metal Cloak undercloak skid plate system that is protecting our engine, transmission, transfer case, and fuel tank underneath our Eco Diesel Wrangler. Everybody asks me what are on the doors here. These are Metal Cloak's flip down door steps, and I use these when I need to get access to some of my cargo that's on my Adventure Rack system on the roof. Well, when we have the rack on here. So coming inside the Jeep in my driver's compartment area, I have surrounded myself with all of the necessities I need to off-road and shoot YouTube videos. Let's start with my radio system. This is a Yasuo radio system, and I have that attached to a mic keeper that hangs down, and I can access this from both inside and outside of the vehicle when I need to. Up top above me here is one of my favorite mods I have on the Jeep. This is a JCR overhead rack, and this is where I've mounted the faceplate to my radio, but as well we have a glass breaking tool in case of emergencies and quick access to our Element fire extinguisher. And then as far as device mounts go, I am using a 67 Designs rail system mounted to the dash of my Jeep, where I have my GoPro mounted and I can quickly move GoPros around to face me. And I have a Rockform Quick Connect phone mount, which we can lock on with its quad twist lock system. And to control the lights that we have on our Jeep, we have an aux beam 8-switch panel here mounted up to our overhead rack that I can turn all my lights on and off with ease. All right, coming around to the back of the Jeep, carrying our massive 37-inch Nitto spare tire is the Warn Elite Swing Out tire carrier. And attached to the back of this, we'll pull our tailgate open, and we've got a set of Rhino rack clamps holding our shovel on, and mounted to the inside of our tailgate is our Outback Adventures Trailgater flip down tailgate table with cutting board. We have another aux beam controller here. This actually controls all of our scene lights when we have our rack on so that we can see around our campsite at night. And in the back of the Jeep, we have a Tuffy steel security system because we have the soft top and we need to secure our off-road gear and camera gear. This encloses our whole cargo area in and keeps our gear safe. And inside, we've got all of our tools in a DeWalt toolbox, and we have powering our fridge and lights an EcoFlow Delta 2 and expansion battery, and some of our recovery gear in the milk crate back there. And in our rear fenders, we've replaced the factory plastic liners with these metal cloak ones. They give us much more clearance for our big rear tires. And one of my favorite mods is having a fridge in my Jeep. Now we're running that off of the EcoFlow Delta 2 in the back, but this is a Dometic CFX 28-liter fridge. And then in front of it, we have the Lifesaver jerry can, which has a built-in pump and sprayer system for our water, and it has a built-in filtration system so we can get more water from streams and lakes out on our adventures. Thanks so much for watching the video today. Make sure you're following White Rock Dodge's Facebook page, and if you want to check out some of my adventures, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a link down below.